If you're thinking about starting locks but you're not sure whether to get permanent lock extensions or grow your own, then stay tuned for this video because I am going to give you some valuable information to help you make that decision. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to The Real ZB. I'm Zinhle and I use this platform to talk about my lock journey as well as share tips and tricks on how you can style and maintain your locks from the comfort of your own home. Today's topic is something that I get asked very often. Okay, I've only had 2 people ask me, but I appreciate and accept any and all comments, and I will give each and every one my fullest attention and the time of day. So basically the question that I get a lot is, do you think I should go for permanent lock extensions rather, or is it better if I just grow my own locks? And the answer to that question is it depends. It's always it depends. It depends on what your own goals are, what you're trying to achieve. But basically in this video I am just going to give you some pros and some cons of both methods so that you can see where you would fit in, and that is going to then help you decide on the method that you are going to use. So sit back, relax, get out your pen and your paper, and let us make a pros and con list, okay? So for those of you who don't know, permanent lock extensions are basically taking someone's locks, someone who has grown their locks and has subsequently cut off their locks, and implanting them in your own hair. For an example, if I was to cut my hair now, I could literally sell it to one of you and you could literally implant the hair and you'll get long and mature locks instantly instead of starting at the starter phase and growing them. Okay, so now that we're on the same page, let's start with the bad news. Let's get into the disadvantages. So I am going to first start with permanent lock extensions. If you know of or you have seen anyone with permanent lock extensions, you'll find that especially in the beginning stages, that the hair tends to look a little bit stiff, okay? Some people do get their hair to be soft after a while. What I found is that the look is kind of stiff, and by stiff I mean like it's extremely straight and just, you can see my hair is very floppy, right? So the reason for permanent lock extensions being stiff is the fact that it's a lock of hair being crocheted into your hair. So that is what causes the stiffness. It will vary from person to person whether your hair will ever get as floppy as mine or if it will stay stiff. It just really depends on a variety of things such as the texture of your hair and how you moisturize your hair. It may take some time for the hair to look natural, right? It may take some time for the hair to blend well with your hair. So just keep that in mind, so as much as you'll have locks, but if you are looking for a more natural blended look like I have, then it's going to take some time, but you will probably get to it. It's just not going to be at the moment. And then another thing is the pain. You can just imagine the pain of a full set of locks being individually crocheted into your head, right? Into your head. And because you need to make sure that the hair is securely on your head, because permanent lock extensions are, permanent. They're unlike faux locks, which are temporary. They are a permanent lock method, So the loctician needs to make sure that they are on there, right? You don't want your locks to be falling all over the place. So you can only imagine the pain that comes with a full set of hair being crocheted onto you. Yeah. So just be mindful of that your first few days might be excruciatingly painful, unless you get lucky and you get someone who's able to secure your lock without pulling and reinforcing reinforcing painfully. And then related to that point, it's the scalp tension. Okay, it's the scalp tension from having something as foreign as crochet being done on your hair. A tight crochet is going to create a lot of tension on your scalp, as well as having a foreign head of hair all of a sudden hanging from your scalp is going to also create scalp tension, especially if you get a lot of locks and a very long set of locks, right? So I would suggest if you're going to get permanent loc extensions that you get a shorter length. You don't have to get like length up to your knees or something, because that is going to pull down and weigh down on your scalp, and your scalp is really going to experience a lot of tension. So you should just be cognizant of the fact that putting weight and pressure that your scalp hasn't gotten used to is going to then cause tension on your scalp, and tension on your scalp is likely to cause thinning around the roots area. You'll find that maybe your hair will grow like sparse or away from each other. You'll find maybe you're getting patches in your hair. You'll also find that maybe your hair isn't growing as fast as it was before, because a healthy scalp means your hair will grow healthily. But when your scalp is experiencing tension, then it finds it quite difficult to push out a healthy set of hair. Okay, and the last one is for those of you who care about what other people say. Not that you should, but if you do, okay, if you care about what other people think about you or what other people say, in the loc community, it seems like there's a lot of people who feel like permanent loc extensions are not genuine, or they're not valid, or this and that and blah and blah. It's supposed to be a journey, this. Personally, for me, I agree with what Keisha Charmaine says, where she was basically saying, why do we care what grown people are doing on their heads, And that's exactly what I think. It doesn't really bother me that people get permanent loc extensions. It doesn't affect me in any way. If that's the method that you want to start your locks on, like, it doesn't affect me. Like, and pumis London, nothing happens to me. So it's just a thing where she was like, just let people be, let people do what they want to do. Like, masiya kumonela abanye abantwana ngelocks zabo, ngenwele zabo. Like, let's just let people do whatever they want to do. The disadvantages of growing your own locks. So the biggest one that I can think of is the awkward or transitional starter lock phase. Because that phase is very challenging, especially if you're an adult and you start your locks as an adult. I think one of the things that helped me along the way is the fact that I was still young. So it was just like one of those things. So when you are older and you're going through an awkward phase, it's kind of difficult to get used to, but it's just something that we all have gone through, and we all get used to it. It doesn't have to be awkward, as people say. It doesn't have to be ugly, as people say. I've actually done a whole video where I basically explain about how to be confident in the starter lock phase. So you can go ahead and watch this video up here once you're done with this video, and I'm sure you'll get some valuable inspiration for your own starter locks. Another thing that I don't enjoy, but I do at the same time, is the fact that if you're gonna grow your own locks, it's a waiting game, honey. You're gonna wait years for you to reach your lock goals, and it's likely that you probably won't reach some of the goals that you put for yourself, and that's okay. Like, for example, I have had my locks for 10 years and they're nowhere near the length that some people have seen who've had locks for 10 years is, and that's okay. I love them how they are. You know, you just learn to roll with the punches, and you just learn to love them. I'm even grateful for how long they are right now, because I put my hair through so much trauma. But what I'm basically getting at is that it will take a long time. It needs for you to have the patience. It needs for you to not be in a rush, because it's not an instant gratification type of gig. So for me, that's about all of the bad things that I can think about when it comes to growing your own locks. If you can think of any other pros and cons as it comes to extensions and growing your own locks, share them down in the comment section below. It will be really cool if you can add to what I have shared. So yeah, let us know what are your challenges and whether you have loc extensions or you have grown your own locks. And then let's get into the good stuff so that we can end this video on a high note. So with extensions, the good thing about it is that you get locks immediately. Your locks are immediately mature. It's kind of a shortcut. It's instant gratification. You wake up today, you want locks, you go, you get locks. That's that on that, right? Sorry I'm looking so rough, guys, but just as I was filming, it turned out that we were in the middle of load shedding, so my laptop went and died. I had no idea that there was load shedding. My laptop died, so which means my ring light died, because my ring light is connected to my laptop. So, and my battery was running out, so I just decided to cut the video there. So now I'm going to continue with the video, child. So I just decided to go, you know, get myself a guinya, and I went to the office for a bit, got some work done, and got my laptop charged. So I'm back now. Where were we? Okay, I think we were talking about the advantages of permanent loc extensions. And I think we're talking along the lines of you'll be able to meet your loc goals immediately. Like, you don't have to wait for years and years and years in order to have the look that you want, or the length that you want. So that is a pretty big bonus, if you ask me, especially for someone who just likes locks for the look. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of L's. I'm dizzy. Okay, if you just like them for the look, then that is going to be the deal maker or the deal breaker for you. When it comes to growing your own locks, and I feel like this is a big advantage, and in my opinion it outweighs every single other advantage that the other method has, and that is the fact that when you grow your locks yourself, you are part of this beautiful story. Sounds cliche, it sounds really cheesy, but it is true. You're part of this journey. You're part of this handful of people in the world who have been able to grow their hair, who have been able to grow their locks, who have been able to experience such a beautiful side of natural hair. And I'm sure that everyone who has grown their locks, each one of us has some stories. You know, we can tell you some things. We have the craziest stories when it comes to our hair, because our hair reminds us of everything that we've been through, and we just look back at all the struggles and all the failures and all the things that we've experienced. I'm sure if we could sit around a fireside together, that we'd be up all night just exchanging story after story after story, because the stories never end, and our locks are always there for us. Our locks are always there and are part of every single moment and part of our journey. So I'm really happy that locks are in right now. I'm really happy that locks are finally in. I'm happy that we are finally getting our moment, and I'm happy that people are starting the conversation around locks. People are inquisitive about locks. They're asking questions. They want to know more, and it just makes me so incredibly happy that, you know, I have something to say in the conversation. I can jump in the conversation. So I'm absolutely so excited, and that's one thing that I would not change for the world. It's my experience, my memories, my failures, and everything in between. I would not change this journey for the world. So I actually shared with you my beautiful 10-year journey with my wonderful locks in this video over here. So if you would like to hear about my 10-year lock journey, then go ahead and click on that video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.